A world-class striker is standing 10 yards from goal. The ball is perfect. The stadium is screaming. There's almost no time left. This is the moment players dream about. And yet, sometimes the easiest chance of the night becomes the hardest one to finish. The first touch becomes heavy. The shot feels rushed. A simple pass suddenly looks complicated. And fans ask the same question. How could an elite player get that wrong? The answer may not be fatigue alone. Sometimes, the real problem is pressure. Because when the stakes become enormous, the brain can do something surprisingly dangerous. It can make an automatic skill feel manual. And the movement that once happened naturally suddenly becomes something the player is trying to control. That's when instinct can disappear. Chapter 1. The player who already knows how. Elite footballers don't learn a perfect first touch by thinking about every movement. They repeat it thousands of times. Receive. Control. Turn. Pass. Shoot. Eventually, the body learns the pattern. The player sees the ball. And the movement happens. That's one of the secrets of elite performance. The athlete doesn't consciously calculate every muscle movement. They trust the process. But the final minutes of a match create a different environment. The score is close. The crowd is louder. The consequences are enormous. And suddenly, the player becomes aware of the movement again. The striker doesn't simply think, shoot. He starts thinking, don't miss. Place it perfectly. Everyone is watching. What happens if I fail? And that is where the psychological problem begins. Chapter 2. When pressure makes you think too much. There is a fascinating idea in sports psychology. Highly practiced movements can become less fluid when athletes begin consciously monitoring actions that normally happen automatically. Think about walking. You don't think about every step. But if someone suddenly tells you to analyze exactly how you walk, it becomes strangely uncomfortable. Football can work the same way. A player who normally controls the ball automatically starts thinking about his foot, his body position, his touch, the goalkeeper, the crowd, the consequence. And instead of reacting, he calculates. That extra thinking doesn't always create a mistake. But under extreme pressure, it can interfere with the freedom that made the skill automatic in the first place. The player isn't forgetting football. He's becoming trapped inside his own instructions. Chapter 3. The 90th minute effect. Now add the clock. 85 minutes. 90. 93. Every passing second changes the emotional environment. The finish line is visible. The crowd knows it. The players know it. And suddenly every action feels more important. A defender thinks about protecting the lead. A midfielder thinks about avoiding the dangerous pass. A striker thinks about taking the perfect shot. The match becomes smaller. The attention narrows. And that can create a dangerous feedback loop. Pressure creates a mistake. The mistake creates more pressure. The player notices the pressure. He starts monitoring himself. And the more he monitors, the less naturally he performs. One missed pass becomes two. One hesitation becomes another. A simple decision becomes a difficult one. And now the player isn't only fighting the opponent. He's fighting his own awareness. Chapter 4. The neural traffic jam. This doesn't mean the brain simply shuts down. It means too many things may be competing for attention at once. The player is processing the ball. The defender. The crowd. The clock. the score, the consequence, and the fear of making the wrong decision. That's a lot of information for an exhausted mind. Under pressure, attention can become narrower and more self-focused. Instead of seeing the whole attacking picture, a player may become obsessed with one detail: the pass, the shot, the mistake he must avoid. And football punishes that kind of tunnel vision, because elite performance depends on perception, reacting, adapting, trusting. The final minutes demand exactly those qualities, at the moment when pressure makes them hardest to access. Chapter 5. Why great players still make simple mistakes. This is why some of football's most haunting mistakes look so strange. A defender who has completed hundreds of simple passes misplaces one. A striker who finishes chances effortlessly sends one wide. A goalkeeper misjudges a routine ball. From the outside, it looks impossible. But elite players aren't immune to pressure. In some ways, they're more exposed to it, because expectations are higher. When a young player makes a mistake, people call it development. When a superstar makes the same mistake in the 90th minute, people call it choking. But the psychology is more complicated than that. The player isn't suddenly less talented. The moment is simply demanding a type of mental control that normal training doesn't always reproduce. And that's why pressure simulation matters. Chapter 6. Training the final minute. The best preparation isn't simply becoming fitter. It's learning how to remain mentally present when the match becomes chaotic. Coaches can recreate late-game pressure during training. A team can start a practice scenario already one goal down. The clock can be limited. The crowd noise can be increased. Players can be forced to make decisions while tired. And the goal isn't to eliminate pressure. That's impossible. The goal is to become familiar with it. Because the more familiar the situation feels, the less shocking the pressure becomes. Breathing. Simple instructions. Clear routines. One decision at a time. These aren't magical solutions. They're ways of keeping attention anchored to the process instead of the consequence. So the next time a world-class player misses a chance in the final minute, don't immediately ask, "How could he miss that?" Ask a different question. What was happening inside his mind? Was he reacting? Or thinking? Was he playing? Or monitoring himself? Because sometimes the difference between a perfect finish and a shocking mistake isn't talent. It's trust. Trust in the movement. Trust in the training. Trust in the next decision. The greatest players aren't the ones who never feel pressure. They're the ones who can feel it, without letting it take control. And maybe that's the real psychology of the 90th minute. The clock doesn't just test your legs. It tests whether you can still trust yourself when every part of your mind is telling you not to.